condition that they may meet the required criteria and pass assessments by relevant authorities according to the CCSA. Well, you may say that is not such good news as many were hoping that this reopening of nightlife can start as soon as next month already, just in time for the Christmas and New Year's holidays and all the long weekends next month as well. But, well, it's a start, and we have what we have. So one of the required safety measures is that each venue must improve their environment and air circulation system, that all staff are fully inoculated against COVID-19. Venues which pass the assessment will be registered and allowed to reopen for business and must strictly comply with the safety measures. And if a COVID-19 infection is found in any of these places, it will be closed down for some time, of course. And the nighttime curfew between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. is in place still, but only in the dark red zone, which now includes only 6 provinces, Tak, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Narathiwat, Pattani, Yala, and Songkhla, until November 31st, pending a further CCSA decision whether to extend the curfew in the future. Bangkok is now considered one of the sandbox provinces, which also includes the popular tourist destinations like Krabi, Phuket, and Phang Nga in the south. The ban on serving alcohol in eateries has been lifted in the sandbox provinces, so those provinces that we just mentioned, and 5 other provinces deemed at low risk for the spread of COVID-19, which are Nakhon Phanom, Bumkan, Mukdahan, and Sakon Nakhon. And all international arrivals will still have to undergo an RT-PCR test, followed by an antigen test upon arrival, as per the current practice, following the Tourism Authority of Thailand's, or TAT's, proposal to switch to only antigen tests to reduce the waiting time. Well, that's a beginning of all the, the easing, and now that we have the reopening, it doesn't seem that COVID infections have risen yet. So we'll wait and see, and it seems that all the measures are in place.
Right. And now let's talk about the environment. Recently, the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, or EGAT, has started the electricity generation at its hydro floating solar hybrid project on the Sirinthorn Dam in the northeastern province of Ubon Ratchathani. So let's have a look at how interesting this looks. So the project is reputed to be the world's largest of its kind, and it also employs double glass solar panels, which are resistant to humidity, fitted on high-density polyethylene buoys floating on 72 hectares of the surface of the dam. And it also has the capacity to generate 45 megawatts of clean electricity. According to EGAT, the project is divided into 5 zones, which combined only occupy around 1% of the surface of the dam, and all the materials used are safe and environmentally friendly. EGAT claims that the panels generate electricity 10 to 15% more efficiently than land-based solar panels, and they also help to reduce water evaporation in the dam. Incorporated in its 19-year electricity generation development plan since 2018, EGAT plans to launch 15 similar projects in 9 of Thailand's reservoirs with a combined generation capacity of 2,725 megawatts to promote the development of renewable energy in Thailand. And each project can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by about 47,000 tons a year. So this is definitely a good start here with generating clean electricity.
Right. Well, of course, and especially now that COP26 just concluded, right? So with all these grand schemes being promised, but actually some may say that it's not really done enough. They haven't really promised or doing enough for now. So at least this is one of them. This is just a start as well.
Right.
And turning on now to human rights situation in Thailand, we reported earlier about the Thailand's third Universal Periodic Review or UPR cycle in Geneva back on Wednesday. And now we have some more details for you. So the timing of the enactment of Thailand's law against torture and enforced disappearance, and whether Thailand will ratify the optional protocols of the Convention Against Torture have been questioned by other countries, and also concerns have also been raised by some other countries about the current use of some of the SLAPP laws, including lèse majesté. Sweden raised a question when the law against torture and enforced disappearance will be enacted, and 4 draft bills on which passed only the first parliamentary reading back in September of this year, while the U.S. asked how the law will be enacted. The exact timing has not yet been given by Thailand, but the drafts of this law are being deliberated by a parliamentary subcommittee and are expected to be debated and voted on in Parliament. And in this parliamentary term, it is expected so, which will last until February of next year. So we'll have to also see if it will really be fast-tracked like last time or not, if it's going to be in time until February or not. And especially that it has been delayed several times over the years. So the demands for such a bill have intensified recently, with cases of enforced disappearances earning more public attention, especially the case of activist Wan Chalom Saksit, who disappeared from the streets of Phnom Penh in Cambodia near his apartment in June of last year. His disappearance was one of the triggers for a growing anti-establishment movement last year. Torture has also gained more attention in Thailand as well, due to a case in the northern province of Nakhon Sawan, if you remember, in which a group of 7 now already dismissed police officers were seen in a leaked and widely shared video suffocating a drug suspect with plastic bags to death.
At the same time, the United States, Canada, Germany, Switzerland, France, Finland, and Norway have also expressed concerns over Thailand's lèse majesté law, which such concerns already voiced in previous UPRs, and most of the countries actually supported the amendments to Section 112 as well. Canada has urged a restriction to the enforcement of strategic laws against public participation, also known as SLAPP, including lèse majesté, sedition, and the Computer Crime Act. The U.S. has also urged changes in the use of the lèse majesté law and the emergency decree in place since March last year. Others had similar recommendations related to revising the lèse majesté law. The international calls for revisions of lèse majesté echo the Thai opposition's, particularly the Move For Party and Pheu Thai Party, stance and movements to get fellow parliamentarians to vote for amendments of the law. And according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Thailand respects Thai people's rights and freedom in their political gathering, but those rights and freedoms need to be exercised appropriately and constructively while taking into account the spread of the coronavirus. So we can see that many of the countries have expressed concern about the lèse majesté law, which is in use in Thailand, and most of the countries actually support the amendments to this law.
It's actually a hot topic right now for sure, and is not just the calls to repeal or amend the law back home, but also international pressure on this, as we can see as well.
Right, and we actually have more to offer you on the law, such as their recent cases, what the law actually says, and our discussions with academics in our show this week with Thai PBS World, which will air on Thai PBS channel tonight at 10:15 p.m., as well as our Facebook Live on Thai PBS World as well. So if you want to know more details of what the law is all about, you can catch more of this tonight.
Exactly.
Yep, and now let's end the program on a more positive note. Thailand's Department of Corrections is working on the launch of a pilot dog therapy project in prisons in a couple of provinces, such as Nakhon Ratchasima, Ratchaburi, and Rayong provinces. And this is according to the Justice Minister Somsak Thepsutin, who said that the project could help in improving the mental health of inmates and provide job opportunities for prisoners in pet grooming services such as haircutting, dog bathing, and nail trimming after they're released from prisons. He said that the pilot project will initially focus on aging inmates, those who repeatedly violate prison regulations, and psychiatric prisoners as well. The dogs will be specially selected to suit the prisoner volunteers with the help of a pet dog association, adding that progress will be assessed regularly, and if the pilot is a success, it will be expanded to other prisons. The project is based on Thailand's Department of Mental Health's 2018 republication of a study 4 years earlier, back in 2014, which is called The Benefit of Pets and Animal Assisted Therapy to the Health of Older Individuals, conducted by E. Paul Cherniak and his team from the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine to determine the effectiveness of pet therapy in treating depression and psychiatric problems among aging people. And the study showed that pets can help improve the mental health of patients and address loneliness and separation from society. So this is definitely a very interesting move right here. So with dog therapies, we've been seeing this in other fields as well. And aside from the medical purposes and in prisons, there has been a story where the owner of a dog cafe, they decided to come up with this because they felt that the dogs can help with people who are suffering from depression as well as other mental health issues. Because when we play with dogs, we always get these smiles and you feel like the stress relief is gone.
Right. Well, as they say, you know, dogs are humans' best friend, but maybe cat lovers don't really agree, but of course any connection with nature and other beings, I think that would totally help, and with depression and feel the feeling of isolated.
Right.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. And do catch us like this every weekday at 7 p.m. So we'll see you like this on Facebook and YouTube Live again on Monday.
Right. And in the meantime, don't forget to follow us on social media as well as our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates as well as analyses. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and we'll see you next Monday. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ